I'm still trying to process this. I'm still trying to process this. And you're saying, what? What is he trying to process? What is he talking about? The thing I'm trying to process is we fire. I'm not against it. Don't worry, you're not about to see some crazy crap right now. You're not about to see me sit here and defend Salah and say that we shouldn't have fired him. That's not what this is about. What's up, Todd? How you doing? What you're about to see is me question the logic of, like, we fired Salah. Okay, he was never prepared. We were the most penalized team. He sat there like a shrub. I mean, like a schlump or whatever you want to say. All the reasons we got tired of it. It was the same mess. No matter how good the roster was, even when he had a quarterback, even when we gave him good, he's the head coach. He takes responsibility. No matter what we did, it looked the same. It felt the same. It was awful. Fine. My problem is that we fired Salah, but it was the offense. Like, it was the offense that's, like, horrendously bad. And it's the same staff. Like, what's going to change? Like, that's my concern. What's going to change? I just don't understand what's going to change. Okay, so Salah's gone. Right? It was going to happen at the end of the year anyway, probably. I mean, the way things were going. The guy is outcoached. We're outcoached. We look like morons every week. It doesn't matter. He can have 2 weeks to prepare for a team. He comes out. I mean, the guy just doesn't know how to run a football team. We know that. He's gone. And Ulbrich might be better. We don't know. People think, oh, they're not going to be as good. Like, they were just the assistant. No. He was, first of all, everything he did was good. The defense was the strength. And just because, he was there already, he had no choice. He couldn't create the culture he wanted to create. It wasn't his team. It was Salah's team. Now it becomes Ulbricht's team. So a lot can be different as far as the culture. And there's a lot that could be different defensively. But what are we going to do to score points? What's changed that's going to make us suddenly magically score points and not look like a bowl of shit? Dog shit. What's going to fix that? That's what I want to know. How's that going to get better? What's up, JD? JD, I think Woody wants someone to hold this offensive staff accountable. Hey, what's up, Junior Rudy? Okay, fine. Hold them accountable. But what does that mean? What does it mean? He's going to yell at them. You're accountable. Is he going to make them do a lap? Is he going to make Nathaniel Hackett run a lap? Like what? I want to know what he's going to do. What is he going to do to make us score points? How is he going to affect the game to where our offense is able to consistently move the ball and not go run, pass, punt? I mean, he's certainly not going to make Rodgers play better. Rodgers has been trash the last 2 weeks. So he's obviously got to play a lot better. I mean, we got a game. We're playing for first place. I mean, think about that. Let's throw everything else out the window. Forget about our record to it. We're playing for first place. We got a football game that if we win, we're in first place. Like, holy cow. It's been a disaster. But the reality is, and we're playing for first place, but the reality is, we're not going to win unless we score points. You can't ask the defense to hold every offense. You can't ask the defense to not give up points every week. Every week, the expectation can't be, you have to stop them. Every week, it's never be. What if the defense gives up 20 real points, 2 touchdowns, 2 field goals, not turnovers, 20 real points, not a pick six, nothing like that, not because of turnovers, just because they're humans, and it's an NFL, and sometimes opposing teams, especially the Buffalo Bills, are able to score 20 points. Like, you can't blame the defense. You can't sit there and scream, we need Hassan Reddick. No! We need to score more than 20 points. We need to win 23-20 or 24-20 or 27-20 or 31-20. We need to score points. Why is it so hard for us? Every other NFL team scores points. They get touchdowns. They do things. We were, and then suddenly the Denver game happened. And it was like the old Jets just came right back. We fell right back into that disgustingness. So I just don't get it. Like, how is this guy Ulbrich going to help us? I love Ulbrich. I love him. But I don't understand how we didn't fire Nathaniel Hackett. How did we not bring in some offensive minds? I'm yelling, so I'm coughing. I just don't understand what's going to change. What's going to be different? I see Davante Adams being mentioned. That would help. It would help. It would change a lot. And then people say, what would it change? Well, you can't double team Garrett anymore. So now you'd have, Davante and Garrett lining up together. I mean, who are you going to double team? You going to double team both of them? I don't think it's possible. Then you're going to have some wide open receiver or tight end running around. It's really hard to double cover two teams. If you double cover two guys, two receivers, that takes everybody out of the box. So all of a sudden, we'll be able to run the ball. You would think. Right? So that would happen. So, yeah, Davante Adams would help the team. There's no question. We'd definitely be 3-2. We'd probably be 4-1 if we had Davante Adams on this team. But that's all here, no there. I mean, we have to win the next game, right? So, what is taking so long for them to get Davante Adams? The Raiders said we want a second-round pick. Okay. So apparently, the New York Jets are not willing to pay a second-round pick to get Davante Adams. So, one thing I'm seeing is activate Malachi Corley, but will Eric Craig, will Ulbrich try to make decisions like that? Is he going to step in and make personnel decisions on the offense? Like, who is making the personnel decisions on the offense for this team up till now? Like, was it Saleh that deactivated him last week, or was it Hackett? Right? Maybe, I don't know. That's the thing. I don't know. Is Corley the answer? Would he help us? Would he even get on the field? I don't know. We drafted him. I thought we were going to have some special packages for him. You'd think after the Denver game, we would use him and try those special packages. That we would do something. Because it's ugly. It's ugly. This is so ugly. The football that we're seeing is so ugly. I don't know. Maybe Ulbrich will fire them up. Maybe he'll go over to Bates and say, you're benched because you're a piece of trash. And he'll do it in front of the whole team and say, yes, I want you to feel humiliated because anybody who comes out and plays that bad deserves to be humiliated. They deserve it. Because that was a lackluster, ridiculous effort. That's why Bates is some loser that was cut by Chicago that was even available for us. We learned why. He's a bum. He missed every tackle. That was why every time our running back got the ball and there was a guy in the backfield tackling him, it was freaking Bates missing a tackle. Why he wasn't benched during the game. That's why Saleh's not here. That's why Saleh doesn't deserve to be here. Because at some point the head coach got to come into the locker room at halftime and say, why this kid's not blocking? Why is he in there? Why is he in there? You have Jeremy Ruckert. He's not playing great, but he's better than that. Why is he in there? Why doesn't this team make adjustments? The guy was missing every block. You bench him. And I don't know why I'm so mad, because he's gone, Sal. But I guess my question is Ulbrich going to bench him? Are these going to bench players who play like trash? Like every team in the NFL. If a guy's not doing his job, you bench him. He sits. He comes out. It doesn't make any sense. Robert Saleh would, and I'm not defending and saying Mims should have been a star or Mims is good. But Robert Saleh benched Mims for dropping a pass. That was it. He didn't get another opportunity for 3 games. 3 games for dropping a pass. But then his little buddies come. The people he likes, the players he likes, they could fumble. Ty Johnson could drop 3 passes, 3 drives in a row, and cost us 3 drives last year. 2 years ago, whenever it was. Nothing. No benching, nothing. Took him 3 drives to finally, the 4th drive, he was out of the game. Worst head coach ever. Great defensive coordinator. Totally different job. He's going to go to some other team and be an incredible defensive coordinator, and we're going to hear a percentage of this fan base cry like babies. Hey, we had him, and look how good he is. Couldn't coach. He could not coach. He could not lead the team. He was incapable. We would play other teams, and they were more prepared than we was. San Francisco is not even that good. They're 2-3. The only other team they beat was New England. They beat us in New England, and they've lost 3 games. Why? Because in week 1, we weren't prepared, and we were he was he was coaching against a child. That's what that game was. It was him coaching like a child. His best friend, his buddy, his little friend who he knew was completely inferior to him and had no chance to beat him because he's an inferior coach, and he's gone now. And now we have hope. But does Ulbrich have the coordinators he needs on the offensive side for us to put together a smart game plan to beat well-coached teams? Can we really beat Kansas City when we have Hackett as our highest ranked or level offensive mind? I don't see how it's going to happen. Roger says, hello, Jeremy. Jets have stubborn syndrome. Correction, Jets have stubborn syndrome. Well, hey, what's up, B-Boogie? Look, Saleh was stubborn. Everything falls under the head coach. With Saleh gone, we don't know what this team's going to be as far as stubborn. For all we know, Ulbrich was dying to bench people. For all we know, all Ulbrich wanted to do was bench people. For all we know, Ulbrich would go to sleep at night and say, I cannot believe he's not benching these players. Right? We didn't complain about the personnel so much on defense. So that's a good sign. Right? There's not much we complained about that Ulbrich had any control of. Maybe we wanted to see Leonard Taylor III more. And we all said, when he made that great play, we all said, why the hell isn't he in there more? Maybe that's it. But the other thing that we didn't do that I think was more of a solid decision than an Ulbrich decision is we refused to play man. So when you're playing against a team with a Justin Jefferson, or you're playing against a team with a clear lead receiver, why not just take that receiver out of the game with Sauce? Right? Or why not just have it at least be Reed or Sauce on both sides of the field? Why was Tony Banks having to cover Justin Jefferson? Right? That's called stubborn. That's called a coach who deserved to be fired. Because if there's anything he should have learned, I don't know if he learned it, was pretty stupid to sit there and say, that's not my system. My system, we play the system. On that play, the way we're schemed, Tony Banks covers Justin Jefferson. You're a fucking idiot. You're a stupid coach. You're a stupid coach. You got a losing record. What are you, 20-36? You got a losing record. You're in your 4th year. We've given you the best roster a coach could ask for. And you're going to sit there and play games and tell me this is our system and just purposely do stupid things and just purposely not have Justin Jefferson covered by at least one of our two cornerbacks? Are you that stupid? Well, that's why you don't have a job. You don't have a job now. No job because of that stupidity. There's a chance that Ulbrich was thinking to himself, oh my God, if I was in charge, I would totally play man. And I would totally use Sauce and Reed to cover their good receivers. Right? He might also be thinking to blitz more. He might, for all we know, Ulbrich is like sitting there every week wondering, why can't we blitz more? And when we did blitz against New England, it worked. And yet we went away from it. Why? What is it with this? Why? Is there a chance that Ulbrich is going to come in and blitz? Blitz! 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 I'm so tired of get there with 4. I know it's great when you can, but Reddick didn't show up and JJ is gone. So you got to blitz. Quinton Williams, Jamie and Sherwood, they're fast, they're quick. Tony Banks, electric. Blitz! Send one of them. For the love of God, blitz! I'm yelling now. What's going on? Who's talking? Phil Adams says slow starts were a feature of Salah's Jets. Absolutely. If the Jets, if Jeff Yu, new head coach, wins Monday, he will have half as many Jets HC as Salah going into week 6. Who? Tony Banks? Yeah, Banks, whatever. Our safety. Our safety, Banks, right? I said it right. Did I say it wrong again? Did I misspeak another name? Did I do it again? Because I do that a lot. But you guys know what I'm talking about. If you're not getting pressure on the quarterback, you have to send somebody. Tony Adams. Didn't I say Tony Adams? Oh, I keep saying Banks. Oh. Oh, thanks for the correction. Adams, you know what I mean. Tony Adams. We got to blitz these guys. We got to blitz. We got to send these guys in. Look, we've done a good job against Josh Allen, and he's in a slump. He's not been playing well. We've done a good job against him. So we've got to keep that up. Now, Josh Allen, got off to a great start the first 2 weeks, and people anointed him the MVP. We were 3 weeks into the season, and he was the MVP. Buffalo fans were taking bows. We have the greatest quarterback in the world, right? And then we saw the last 2 weeks, and now they've shut up because they're back to being the Buffalo Bills, the Bills that we thought they were going to be, the Bills that missed their early window. They had a window with Josh Allen where he was cheap and they still had money and they were able to put the guys around them. That window is over. Now they got all kinds of personnel problems because they can't easily just buy any player that they want. So they're not this mighty, unbeatable thing anymore. So they had to pay Josh Allen, and now they struggle with salary cap, and they have weaknesses. Their offensive line is not good. Their defensive line is not. Von Miller, with him out, they're not as scary. They have that one guy, Gray Poupon or whatever his name is, that they drafted a couple of years ago. They have like a decent, what's his name? Rougeau. They have one good defensive edge who's pretty good. He's not a world beater. But like this team, Buffalo, has some holes in the line of scrimmage on both sides of the ball. But who cares? Our offensive line is garbage the way they played. Like, our names are good, but they played like garbage as a unit. As a unit, they played like garbage. Individually, they didn't play like garbage when you look at the PFF scores on Frankie's videos. So what does that tell me? That tells me that Keith Carter is a piece of crap. He's a horrendously bad coach. So the offensive line, it's not that the individual players need to play better. per se. They need to be coached better. So accountability. Somebody needs to go up to Keith Carter and says, if you don't fix this like now, you're gone. Get out of here. We don't need you. We're better off telling these guys to play street ball and just block the guy in front of them. So that's got to be fixed. But our offensive line playing like a unit should be able to beat Buffalo's defensive line. We should be able to run on them. Everybody else is running on them. We should be able to run on them. That should force them to have to stack the box, and that should open up things for Aaron Rodgers. That's what should be happening. We should be able to beat this team. On paper, we beat this team. A real coach with a real game plan beats this team. A real coaching staff that gets what they're supposed to get out of their players wins. If you have a real offensive line coach and you get your offensive line to play up to their potential, and you block, and you have Breece Hall and Braylon Allen, and you have Rodgers, you should be able to run on them. And then if they stack the box, you should be able to then use Aaron Rodgers to pass against them. These are all things that should happen. This should not be an issue. These are things that we should be able to do, no ifs, ands, or buts. The talent is there. Other coaches would make this happen. If Bill Parcells was our coach, do you have any question in your mind? If 1998 Bill Parcells was our coach, this team would be 4-1 or 5-0. Any question in your mind? Any question in your mind that we'd be running the ball successfully and we wouldn't be 30th in the NFL and we'd be top 15 with this offensive line and those running backs if Bill Parcells was our coach? I mean, this is just poor coaching. So Ulbrich has got to make change. He can't come in and do it the same way. He's got to come in and he's got to walk into that offensive room and say, if there's no change, you're all gone. He needs to say that to them because I respect the hell out of you, but you're gone. We will hire a new staff. You're out of here. We will one by one get rid of you this season if things don't change. There is no excuse for this. There's absolutely no excuse. The talent is there. There's no more excuses. It's not injuries. It's not anything else. The talent is there. It's garbage coaching. Woody Johnson removed 200 pounds tumor. Where do we go from here? I don't think firing your head coach is going to help you guys out. Offensive mind is terrible. Your accountability, well, that's the question. And that's how I started this conversation. Where do we go from here? First thing I said was, what has to change? Because with that offensive coaching staff, what's going to be different? But the truth is that he can change things. He can change things by holding people accountable and putting pressure on them and not making them think they're comfortable in their job and that they have their job no matter what they do or how they perform. Like, I don't want them thinking, well, I'll worry about it next year. No, it's like, we'll fire you next week. Like, we'll fire you next week. Do your job. Just bring in some college offensive line coach. It's not brain surgery. There's plenty of people. Hire a retired offensive. Bring in Kevin Mawai. Just bring in somebody who understands NFL football, who played the offensive line, and have them coach these guys and fire these guys up. How about that? Jeremy, look at the way your season is over already. By week 6, we have a year and a half head start on finding a new head coach. Silver lining. Well, look, I don't know that we need a new... What's up? I was just thinking, proud New York Jets fan. That's an example of fire Keith Carter, bring Nick Shine in. And people think I'm joking. It's not even a joke. This is what I'm saying. It's not that fucking hard. It's not that hard. It's just bringing in a person that's going to fucking be on these guys and hold them accountable. That's all it is. There is a ton of college coaches out there. A ton of former NFL coaches, of former NFL offensive linemen, team leader types that you could bring in that would improve that offensive line. That guy Saturday, remember the Colts brought in Jeff Saturday, the coach, and he fired them up and they won a game. I mean, technically, he wasn't ready to be a coach. He's completely underqualified. But if you brought Jeff Saturday into our locker room and said, you're the new offensive line coach, you don't think he'd improve them? Just by firing them up, just by being an all-pro guy? You don't think Kevin Mawai taking over that job would make an improvement on that team? You bring in Ferguson, bring in one of our past legendary offensive coaches. You don't think that they would make an improvement on that offensive line? Just from being a knowledgeable person that fires them up and gets them to play and be better versions of, just be better. This guy, they do not play for this guy, Keith Carter. This offensive line is not playing for him. That's the problem. 2 weeks in a row, our offensive line has not shown up. Individually, they're showing up. They're each doing their job, but they're not a unit. Showing up means you have to show up as a unit. It's a team effort. That's why they're missing stunts and they're missing blitzes and they're not picking it up. I can't remember the coach's name. So, I mean, there could be a head start, but I just don't think that Ulbrich is... I think technically we're allowed to talk to Vrabel. Like, we can't talk to a coach that's working now. But I don't... Is Vrabel working right now? Or is he out of it? Right now, is Vrabel completely a free agent? Because that would be an example of a head start. But I think Ulbrich could be the coach, maybe. Like, I'm not giving up. We got to... Look, we're playing for the division on Monday night. We're playing for the division on Monday night. If we win that game, beat Buffalo, get some confidence, win 3 out of our next 4, and we're 6-4 in first place, why are we talking about Ulbrich not being the head coach? Like, to me, the favorite to be the head coach is Jeff Ulbrich. He was a guy that was going to be a candidate for other teams. If our offense would have scored any points, and we were 4-1 right now, if our offense was functional at all, and our team ended up winning 12, 13 games, with the defense that we have and the way it's being coached, Ulbrich was gone. He was going to get a job as a head coach. That's why he coached the Senior Bowl last year. He was being prepped to be an NFL coach. So I'd say that he has a wide open opportunity right now. He has a great roster. The only problem Ulbrich has to overcome, and this is what, if he's going to, look, if he wants to win the job, and if he's a great coach, he'll find a way, but he has to overcome the worst offensive coaching staff in the NFL. And I have no problem saying that. They are the worst offensive coaching staff in the NFL. The combination of Carter and Hackett is all you need to say to know that you're dealing with utter garbage. They are the worst. The worst. And that's Ulbrich's biggest challenge. Ulbrich's got a quarterback. He's got a team. He's got talent. He's got a leading defense that he knows how to run. He's got running backs. He's just got an offensive line of good players. He has receivers. He just doesn't have a coaching staff. He doesn't have coaches on the offensive side that know how to coach. And that's the issue. So does he have the authority to fire these offensive coaches and bring in new ones? I don't know. He certainly has the authority to say, Hackett, you can't hack it. You're not calling the plays. I don't know if Dowdle will do, or Howdy Dowdy do. I don't know if he's going to be any better. I don't know if he's going to be better at calling the plays, but you can't, I mean, how could you be worse than what we've been? I mean, like in the last couple of games, it's been so bad. I mean, I feel like Nick Shine could go in there and call the plays. I could see Nick Shine yelling at the offensive linemen in the huddle. Come on, guys. Give him the 3 seconds, guys. We got a good play here. Wilson's going to get open, guys. I'm watching you guys. If you can't do it, I'll put somebody else in who can, guys. That's the kind of coaching we need right now. We need real coaching. We need disciplinarians. We need people who are going to say, if you get a personal foul, you're out. Irv Charles, you want to dress? You're not going to. Not if you get a personal foul. Can't have it. Can't have it. Not acceptable. I'm sorry they got to hold up my head like this when I read the text, but I'm blind. Safe sound. Yeah, hey, man, anybody who's in Florida, any of you in Florida, if you're, hopefully you're not where it's hitting and you're just getting the category one, it kind of goes over normal, what we grew up with in New York our whole lives when a hurricane came over. It was never direct, really, very rarely, except for Sandy. And you duct tape your windows if you have to. I hope that all of you are in that kind of safe place where you just have to be careful and prep a little bit. To any of you that, are near Tampa, like if you're near Tampa, I see one of you is, do what they tell you to do. Like if they say get out of there, get the fuck out of there. If you're not being evacuated, but make sure you tape your windows, or stay away from your windows. Like take this shit seriously. Make sure you have a plan. Make sure you have some to go bags. Like I hope you're preparing and taking it seriously, because I remember I didn't take them seriously. The ones we would get in New York by the time they'd hit us, except for Sandy, but like most of them, my life, the ones I remember, I'd go outside as a kid. We didn't take them seriously. From what I'm seeing on TV, especially from this last one from 2 weeks ago, these things are pretty real. And I see there are tornadoes right now too. Some pretty real size, substantial tornadoes. So make sure you take this stuff seriously. Like do whatever they're asking you to do to be safe. Yeah, you don't want to get killed because you don't listen to, some common sense instructions. But hopefully you won't lose power too long. Make sure you charge your phone. We'll all try to entertain you. You can watch me and O'Leary, even if you have no power, if you have your phone, maybe you could use some of your phone juice to watch me and O'Leary at 3 p.m. tomorrow. We'll do our reality check show for you. But, yeah, man, just stay safe. Stay safe. It's crazy. We got a lot of Jet fans in Florida. A lot of Jet fans in Florida. A lot of New Yorkers, retire down there or just move down there. And, so be safe. I hope everybody in Florida is safe, but I'm going to talk to my fellow Jet brothers and sisters, to be safe. Take it seriously. I got somebody putting a picture of an egg. Thanks. Haven't heard that one before. Look, I could even do Dr. Evil. Fire the lasers. But anyway, look, guys, I just want to come in, bullshit around a little bit, share some frustration over, not frustration, I'm just confused. I'm confused about not why they fired Saleh. I could list, again, the reasons they fired Saleh and why, he didn't, that it was totally sensible to fire him. What doesn't make sense is that they didn't clean out the offensive coaching staff, or some of it. That's what doesn't make sense to me. So I don't know. Someone says, I wish I smoked some good kush. I'm on a diet, so I gotta, when I have a cheat day, that's when I gotta smoke. I get the munchies when I smoke. I can't diet and smoke. When I smoke, I eat. And I can't eat right now. I have to stay, low calorie. I already had my major calorie meal of the day. It's tomato / red roasted pepper soup for me tonight. But hey, man, I'm down 30 pounds. So I'm not apologizing to you. You're breaking my balls. But I like that you hear me on that, right? I'm not the only one, right? Smoking means gaining weight, right? I'm not the only one, right? I'm not the only one that I smoke pot and that's I have to eat. Like if I smoke pot, my willpower dies. I have no inhibition. Like in other words, I'd be literally Uber eating. I'd be on Uber Eats or DoorDash and McDonald's like in 10 minutes. If I got stones, Big Macs would be on their way. Large Coke, Big Macs, apple pies. That's how you know if I'm stoned or not. If I'm just ordering McDonald's, if I order McDonald's and there's no apple pies, I'm just having a cheat day or I broke. I'm having a thing where shh, don't tell my wife, and I'm cheating on my diet. If there's apple pies, I'm stoned because whenever I'm stoned, I always say, "Why wouldn't you get apple pie? Why would you get McDonald's? Know that they can insert those two apple pies into the bag and not do it. It doesn't make any sense." He's saying good stuff. Uh, Congrats on going down 30 pounds. Thanks, man. I'm a little behind you. So, addicted to snacks. Jeremy swallows too much aggression. And pizza. It's true. No, I have a diet where I do intermittent fasting during the week. I'm supposed to do 6 days, but I end up cheating twice. But then I end up losing 2 pounds a week. So you know, it's all about okay. Do I want it to take a little longer to lose weight? I mean, but the way it is I'm only doing like 1,000 to 1,200 calories a day intermittent fasting. But then when I do a cheat day, I just go crazy. So the cheat days are the days I look forward to. Like if I make my weight that I'm supposed to make by Saturday morning, then it's a cheat day. So Saturday morning, Friday, I'm like a fucking lunatic. I fast, depending on how close I am. Like if I have to lose over a pound, I'm like, I panic because my God forbid I lose my cheat day. So, because I have to make weight. So I will literally freaking fast I'll eat at noon. I'll have my first meal and then I'll skip the second meal and just not eat the rest of the day. Wake up the next morning, go for a long walk before I weigh in. Then I weigh in, and if I make my weight, then I get to have my Saturday cheat day. And a lot of times that means immediately getting onto my McDonald's app and ordering sausage egg McMuffins. I gotta find something new. But California sucks. Like for breakfast. It's not like New York. If I was in New York, I wouldn't get McDonald's. If I was in New York, I'd go to a deli and I'd get 2 bacon eggs and cheese on a roll. And I'd probably, get, one of those corner delis in Manhattan. I would get one of those dessert things that they have. But I'm in California where the best available breakfast is a sausage egg McMuffin. I mean, there's a bagel place, Noah's Bagels, but they suck. And even if I get a bacon, egg, and cheese sandwich from them, they want like $11 for one. Fuck that. I get 2 sausage and egg McMuffins from McDonald's. Kidding me? And a large Coke. Nothing like watching the Jets bring on the depression. I don't know, man, if we win, though. If we win on Monday night, we're not going to feel depressed. We're not going to be depressed on Monday night if we win. We beat the Bills. We're in first place. We could put a lot of this behind us. Plus, I was worried about that Steeler game before the year. I thought but it's not going to be a sleeper game anymore. Like it's not going to be one of those games that we're not prepared for, because at this point we're going to have a new coach and we're desperate to get wins. So we're going to be playing Pittsburgh with everything we have. If we beat Buffalo, we're going to go into Pittsburgh wanting a win. We better not have that Monday Night Football letdown, I'll tell you that. But we should be able to hold the Steelers to very few points. We just have to protect Rodgers, and we have to be able to score some points against the Steelers, and we'll be fine. A happy meal for Jeremy is when he doesn't bite off a finger feeding himself. So I'm down 30 pounds, but I've got to lose. When I started the diet, I needed to lose 100. So I got 70 more to go. My goal was to get to 45 pounds lost by the end of the year, and then lose about 7 pounds a month for 8 months. And by the end of August, be at my college weight. So that was the goal, and be able to tell people I lost 100 pounds. I think I'm going to be ahead of schedule. I think what I'm really going to do is I'm going to lose 50 by the end of the year, and I'm going to lose 8 a month for like, what, 6 months? Yeah, and by the end of June, a year after I started the diet, July 22nd, I'm going to get to that magical 100 pounds, where I could go around saying I lost 100 pounds. Now, I don't know if it's more embarrassing that I got myself to a point where I needed to lose 100 pounds. That's pretty humiliating. But 70 pounds more to go. That's what I'm talking about. And I'm not gonna be able to eat as much. Well, maybe I will. I don't know. Love soda. I love soda. Damn, 100. That's a lot. Yeah. Clancy, I got up to 285. My high was 230 my whole life. That was when I needed to go on a diet, and I would bounce between 230 and 190. Be like, oh, I got to go on a big diet, and I'd get down to like 190, be thin, stop dieting, slowly gain the weight, go back to 230. And I was blessed with metabolism or whatever that didn't let me go above that. Like, I could eat whatever I wanted. I'd never go above 230. Then one day it became 240. I said, oh shit, it's 240. But then it stopped there, and 240 was the magic number. 240. I used to go from 240 down to 200. I look good enough at 200. I could stop there. Gain the weight back up to 240. Pandemic hit. 260. I was like, what the fuck? 260? I thought the scale was broken. It's like, it can't be. 260? Are you kidding me? It was 260. Did nothing. Kept eating. Figured, well, I'll diet, but I don't have to stop eating, right? Because I'm not going to get heavier than 260. Well, not much later, in July of this year, I got on the scale and I was 285 and I had a fucking panic attack. And said, if I keep going, I'm going to hit 300 pounds. That's like when they start recruiting you to play offensive line. Except I'm only 5'11". So I thought to myself, I better do something. So 185 is actually not even, for a 5'11" guy, 185 is still a little bit overweight if you go by the ridiculous scales they put out. But 185, I still have a little bit of love handles, tiny bit, a little bit of a belly, but for the most part, I'm thin. Very thin face, lean body, large t-shirt, no extra large, double XL right now. Size 33, 34 pants when I'm 185, or 34 needs a belt kind of thing. So, I realized when I hit 285, I said, holy shit, if I want to get back down to 185, I have to lose 100 pounds. And then I said, well, the good news is that's a cool number. It's kind of a cool thing. I got to lose 100 pounds. But like when I do it, sometime next summer, I'm projected, right? Right now it's projected to be around the summertime. And I mean, I never had a diet take a year to get to where I needed to go. But I mean, when you need to lose 100 pounds, it's going to fucking take a year. But I thought it would be the coolest thing in the world, like sometime in August, to be able to say I lost 100 pounds. So, Weed the People says, I got below 200 for the first time in like 8 years. It's not easy. Props sticking with it, Jeremy. Thanks. Haven't done it yet, though. I was 185 in 1973, says Phil Adams. That's kind of crazy. I look like a fire hydrant. I don't know what that means. I'm on 2 diets, not enough food on them. It sucks, man. I love to eat, so it really does suck. But I'm telling you, my days off are like what keeps me alive. I get my days off, like that cheat day, that once a week cheat day. That's the only way I'm going to be able to do this diet. I have to have the day to look forward to. And then I just go absolutely fucking apeshit on that day. The one thing I don't like is when I'm busy on that day and I'm not getting to take advantage of my cheat day. That's like the worst. It's like, oh my God, I haven't had McDonald's today. I haven't had pizza today. It's my freaking cheat day. My wife wants to get like burritos or something. I like burritos, but no, not on my cheat day. I only get to eat once a week, okay? It's got to be cutlets, or it's got to be a meatball hero, or it's got to be freaking cheesesteak, or it's got to be pizza. There's things I need in my life. It's got to be 2 Big Macs and a fries and 2 apple pies. It's got to be something like that. If I'm ever behind schedule, that's like that's my secret weapon. Like, I could eliminate the cheat day. I could say, oh shit, my goal for the month is to get down to 240, and I'm not gonna make it. But I like in the middle of the month, but I'll just not have the cheat day. I'll skip the Saturday, and I'll lose 5 or 6 pounds because there's no gain that I then have to come back from for a couple of days. It's just I just go into Saturday, diet, and keep losing all the way to the next week. One would say I should do that more often. But like I said, life is balance. Like, part of me is tempted to do it. Like, can I somehow stretch out another week? What if I don't have a cheat day? What if I just stretch out another week? I would lose so much more weight so much faster. But then again, I might snap. And I've done that. I've snapped. Like, in the middle of a diet, it's a Wednesday afternoon, and suddenly I'm in a McDonald's drive-thru. So, that's not good. Tyson, you're saying you're 47, losing weight is not happening. Well, losing weight gets harder and harder. I used to be able to shave off 30 to 40 pounds and be lean again in no time. It's freaking hard now. That's what she said. Maybe Jeremy's eating all the cats. They're eating the cats. I'm eating the cats. I'm eating the dogs. A wonderful day in Jetsville. So Tony Alexio is very happy that Salah was fired. I'm still waiting for Devontae news. By the way, I can never see anything when this is happening. So if we did get Devontae, let me... Actually, I could see the messages go up on my phone. So you're a sucker for fast food, we the people? Yeah, I love White Castle, but you know what? To be honest, I can't eat White Castle. Like if I do, it can only be like 4 burgers. Like, it just makes me too sick. Like I did, like, there was a time where the last time I did White Castle, I was living in Brooklyn, Prospect Park area, and I went to that one on 4th Avenue. And I got I always have big eyes. I always order more than I have ever eaten in my life anyway. But I just do it figuring, I'll wrap the others up and heat them up and have food for later. So I got a dozen White Castle hamburgers, a couple of orders of fries, large Coke. Actually, the biggest one they have. Came home, ate about 8. I always stop at 8. That's what happens. I get to 8 and I'm always like, my whole body, I feel like I'm going to have a heart attack. I get to like number 8. I eat my 8th White Castle hamburger. It's not even tasting good anymore. I'm sick. I'm nauseous. And here's what happens. I am sick after that for a week. For a week, I'm sick. So I did notice that I'm able to eat 4 White Castle hamburgers and just, have a little weird evening maybe or next morning and be okay. So that's what I'll do. I'll eat 4 White Castle hamburgers if I see a White Castle. Now, what I could do is get those chicken slider things they have, probably, and just get other things. Because I just think it's the burgers with the onions that is making me sick. I think that if I just did 4 of those, I do think I could eat 4 of the chicken slider things. Like, I could just eat other things and probably be okay. So shockingly, I don't get sick from McDonald's. Jeremy dieting under overtake the over. Talking Jets with Tigo is here. What's up, buddy? I hope you're okay down there. I hope you have power. I mean, I'm not worried about your safety because I know that you're safe in Orlando, but it sucks not to have power. So I hope that you keep your power. Losing power is the fucking worst. I fucking hate it. But, all right, guys, so this is where we stand. We are a win away from being in first place and all of our, not all of our problems being away, but if we were to win and be in first place, we have to let the losses go. We have to let the woulda, shoulda, coulda's go. We have to just say, okay, we're in first place. We're 3-3. New season. New season. We're 3-3. New season. 6 games are gone. We have 11 games. How many of those 11 are we going to win? Be the best team in our division. Right? Maybe we're going to have to be next year if Rodgers comes back. Maybe it'll be next year that we could be that 13 wins, try to challenge the Chiefs for seeds and all that shit. It's not going to happen this year. We're not getting no number 1 or number 2 seed. We ain't getting no bye week. None of that shit's going to happen. Right now, it's just make the playoffs and hopefully do it by winning the division. We win on Monday. We're the favorite to win the division. We're ahead. We've beaten Buffalo. I'm not worried about Miami and New England. Now, Miami might get hot and start winning some games and get their shit together. We don't know, but for right now, I'm saying I'm not really worried about them or thinking about them. We beat Buffalo. We just beat the one team that we're battling for the division, so we already got to win on them, right? And then at that point, we have to have a really good record because the next time we play them is in Buffalo. So we have to put ourselves in a position that we could lose that game and still win the division. And the only way we're going to do that is we're going to have to win a lot of football games. So in those 11 games that are left, we're going to have to win 8 of those. You know what I mean? Maybe 9. We're going to have to win. Win! All we got to do is score points and we'll win. We just got to get the offense to click and be a normal offense that plays up to the talent of their players. And we will win. The defense is going to keep us in every game. If we could just score points, score touchdowns. And we are scoring more touchdowns than we ever have. It's just that we fell into this slump where we're getting worse. If we could turn it back around and get back to where we were and score 3 touchdowns in a game, we're going to do very well. We're going to do very well. So it's just win. Just win. We just got to win on Monday. We got to win and all this misery will be gone. Not permanently maybe, but Tuesday we will wake up and so much of this misery will be gone. If we wake up on Tuesday, we're not going to be proud of our record. We're not going to say 3-3 and boast and go around town bragging about our 3-3 win, 3-3 victory. What we're going to be doing is saying we're 2-0 in the division. We're in first place. And we have complete control over our own destiny. Complete control. We technically will be in first place. We will have complete control of our destiny. So after going 2-3 and after losing games, that's the best thing that you could be able to say is we're able to control our own destiny. We're technically in the lead. We're ahead. Everything stays the same. Season ends on Tuesday after a win. We're in the playoffs, division winner. So it's such a big game. Such a big game. So Clancy is saying we'd also be 3-1 in the AFC, which is great because if we start winning now and we get out of this funk and now we're winning, it's a really good point. Out of the 3 losses, if we start winning, 2 of them are against the NFC, which will be really helpful for us. So if we win 6 games in a row right now, just say. And we're 8-3. We're not just 8-3. We are 8-3 with only one conference loss. So that matters because now you start thinking about at that. If, you think seeding. If we beat Buffalo, I think we could be 8-3. If we beat Buffalo, I think we could start rattling off wins. If we beat Buffalo, I think we'll beat Pittsburgh. And I don't. You know what? I know Houston's good. I don't think they're that good. Houston is not a world beater to me. We kicked their butt last year, and I've seen them be very fallible this year. We could beat Houston, especially if we start winning again and we get our confidence back. If we get our confidence back, we could beat them because we could stop their young quarterback. That's the key. Contain them, and we could certainly, if Aaron Rodgers on our offense is fixed, we could score against them. So this season's far from over. So Harlan is saying the Jets have to go on a winning streak. Knob Deep is saying crazy that it's must win already. It is. Salah wouldn't get out of his own way. I mean, when you say crazy that it's a must win already, well, yeah. I mean, we fired our coach because of that reason. I mean, that's why we fired him. We fired him because we couldn't risk. Like, too many times we said, oh, give him a chance, give him a chance. Give him this, give him that. He needs a quarterback. Couldn't do it anymore. Couldn't trust him anymore. We literally had to fire him. We couldn't afford to go into Monday's game and lose with him. It doesn't mean we're going to win, but we needed to try something. I like coaching debuts, guys. I like when guys have their coaching debuts. I think that it is a little bit of a spark and it is a little bit of a change. And I think it is going to wake up the team. I think we're going to beat the Bills on Monday. There, I said it. I think we're going to beat the Bills. I do. I think we're going to beat the Bills. I think we're going to come out ready to play. And I think we're going to beat the Bills. I think we're going to run all over them. I think our offense is going to find new life. We're going to run all over them. Rodgers is going to throw 3 touchdowns. Or we're going to score 3 touchdowns. 3 touchdown drives, maybe 4. On the other drives, we'll kick field goals. We'll score lots of points. We'll hold them to 13 points or 16 points or something like that, and we'll win the game. We're going to beat the Buffalo Bills because that's what we do at home. We beat them now. We're going to be 3-3, and we're going to be in first place, and we're going to put this nightmare behind us, and we're going to get back to thinking positive again, and we're going to come back to life. This fan base will come back to life. That's what's going to happen. We're going to come back to life, baby. We're going to have Victory Tuesday, and we're going to all be happy. I got to go, guys. I'm coughing like crazy. I got to have some soup. I only got 2 hours left before my fasting starts again because I can only eat on the West Coast. I can only eat between the hours of 11 and 6. So I will keep updating you on my weight loss. Hold me accountable, guys. I got to lose 100 pounds. I'm down 30. I got 70 more. Hold me accountable. Ask in the comments throughout the next months. Make sure that I don't walk away from this diet. Take care, everyone. Be good.